Yo, Rob from Showdown here, and today we're going to be ranking anime transformations from worst to best. Now, I know it says best to worst here, but you know how I roll. I like to go worst to best so I have time to think about my picks. Now, let's look at the chart here. We have Eskenor in the 1, we have Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, we have Snake Man Luffy, we have Eden using the Founding Titan, we have Naruto in Barium mode, we have Vassalord Ichigo, Mob using Unknown Percent, Asta full Devil Union, and then we have Adult Gohan. Let's get right into it. Now, what makes a great anime transformation? I think it comes down to effectiveness and practicality. Is it more useful than hurtful to start this transformation? So just by looking at this chart here, at number 9, I'm going with Adult Gohan from Hunter x Hunter. Adult Gohan arguably has the highest power up on the entire chart. The fact that he can enhance his nen to a level so incredibly high that he has to literally age himself just so he can contain the amount of nen that he harnessed is insane all around. But it's that very same reason why I have it as the worst anime transformation on the chart. We have to understand that the drawbacks of Adult Gohan are not really worth it. It's not worth the trade-off of your life. And it literally took Killua making a wish with Nanika to preserve Gohan's life. I mean, this is how crazy the Adult Gohan transformation is, because it damages your body so much. It damaged Gohan's nen capabilities. It damaged everything. Now, the output of power, insane. The fact that Pito put Gohan and Meruem in the same sentence when even Netero was struggling against Meruem is something we can definitely put our eyes on, but it doesn't matter because Gohan practically almost lost his life. At number 8, I'm going with Naruto's Barium mode, for a reason very similar to Adult Gohan's transformation. Now, Naruto's Barium mode boosts him to a super high level. We know that it takes the Kurama chakra and Naruto's base chakra, fuses them together, and pretty much gives you this new raw energy that's so powerful that it took Naruto and Sasuke to fight Ishiki prior, and now Naruto in Barium mode is boxing with Ishiki and pretty much dominating him. Naruto looks unstoppable, the speed, the power, but let's look at the drawbacks, y'all. We have to understand that the user's life form or the tail beast life form are going to be getting drained as you're holding out this transformation. Now, this is a very big deal when we're talking about Naruto and his moveset, because are we gonna sit here and act like half of Naruto's moveset isn't based off of Kurama's chakra? I mean, are we serious? All of his techniques that are top tier are because he's a 9-tailed Jinchuriki and he can rely on the 9 tails to supply him with extra chakra boosts so he can be giving them out to people during the wars. So the fact that you're reaching a transformation that actually ends up deleting the life of the 9-tailed fox, I don't like it. Now that Kurama is no longer with him, Naruto is now relatively pedestrian. A lot of the enemies that had no shot against Naruto now can have a conversation, and that's a problem. At number 7, I'm going with Eskenor's the One. The answer here is simple, y'all, and it has nothing to do with Eskenor's power. The only reason why Eskenor's the One is ranking towards the bottom of the list is because Eskenor is not Mael, people. He is not part of the goddess clan. He is a human, and we understand that because he is a human, Mael's grace is not meant for him. Now listen, when Eskenor is in the One, he is virtually unstoppable. We've seen him protect a Merlin against a Zeldris using Ominous Nebula. We've seen him use a Dimension Slash against an Assault Mode Meliodas and was holding his own. We've seen him box against Estarossa. We've seen him box against the Demon King Zeldris when he used the One Ultimate, which not only is at high noon, but he's able to convert his life energy into magic energy. But his name is not Mael, and Mael had to break it down to him, telling him that Eskenor having his grace is terrible for his body. He can't hold on to it for much longer because it's deteriorating his body. These are the things that make me hold off on having the One, hold off on Eskenor even having Mael's power in the first place, because what's the point of having power if it's killing you while you're using this technique? Just like a Naruto with Kurama, just like an Adult Gohan. These transformations are literally killing the users to achieve more power. I'm not with that. At number 6, I'm going with Vassalord Ichigo. Now, when we originally saw Ichigo fighting Ulquiorra for the first time, he had no shot whatsoever. Ulquiorra was looking like a complete powerhouse, was just bodying him all around, but the moment he allowed his hollow side to fully take over and Ichigo entered into that Vassalord form, now it's a completely different conversation, because not only is he beating Ulquiorra, but he's starting to dominate him. Not completely, but it's looking bad for Ulquiorra. Ulquiorra powers up using his Resurrection. Doesn't matter. Vassalord Ichigo is still going crazy, still looks unstoppable, but the only reason I don't have him higher up is because he can't really control it, at least at the time he first used it against Ulquiorra. And what good is the anime transformation if you have no control over it whatsoever? And we noticed this because Uryu was trying to tell Ichigo, listen, bro, you won. You got the ring already. Relax. You got the W. and Uryu almost lost his life trying to calm down a vacillated Ichigo. This is how scary relying on hollow powers is, which is why Ichigo doesn't really like to do it, but it's a great transformation when you need it and you're in a pinch, which is why I have it in the middle of the list, just not at the top. At number 5, I'm going with Snake Man Luffy. Now when we look at Luffy's Gear 4, we have to look at the different transformations within the Gear 4. We have Tank Man, Snake Man, and Bounce Man. The greatest one out of these 3 has to be Boundman. Not only did he use this to defeat a Doflamingo, but this is the same transformation that he used to box against Kaido. Even though this transformation that was used against Kaido was unsuccessful, at least the first time around, Luffy needed to use it because it has the power output that the Snake Man transformation lacks. Now where the Snake Man excels where Boundman can't is speed, agility. But at the end of the day, if you're talking about a Yonko conversation, ultimately we're going to need that Bound Man transformation because we're going to need to see some top tier power outputs, something that the Snake Man form cannot perform right now. And we've seen this because he had to use Bound Man against a Kaido and a Big Mom. At number 4, I'm going with Asta's Devil Union form. Now I have not read the Black Clover manga yet, but I am caught up on the anime. And in the anime so far, we have seen at least the preliminary stages of this Devil Union form, where Asta is able to rely on the power of a Libe to access greater heights and greater power. One can only assume that if he was able to sacrifice just his arm to keep up in a fight against Dante, even though Yami was there, we understand that. If he's able to even sacrifice more or even assimilate more of Libe's power onto his own, one can only assume that he's entering into the GOAT status of the Black Clover verse. I mean, he's getting closer to that. The drawbacks of the Devil Union so far aren't as bad as the other ones that are way lower. At number 3, I'm going with Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. Now this pick has 2 things that we have to discuss. The Super Saiyan level transformation, but we also have to discuss the fusion itself. Now when we look at a Gogeta versus a Vegito, we have to discuss the time limit, y'all. Vegito, even though you have an arrow with the Patara earrings, your power output can vary the time you have. But when we look at a Gogeta, you don't have to worry about that. You can access a Super Saiyan Blue transformation and your time limit is still going to be 30 minutes. Now the reason why I have this transformation so high is because the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta transformation was able to hold off of Broly that was breaking reality. Broly's power level is so ridiculous, we've literally seen dimensions warping around them as they're battling. And Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta was needed to even combat a force like a legendary Super Saiyan Broly. At number 2, I'm going with triple question mark mob, aka Mob's unknown percent, whatever you want to call it. Now some of you may be saying, well Rob, wait, hold on, you counted some points against Ichigo and Vacillating form because he couldn't control it. Well, Mob can't really control this form. Well, my answer to that would be Mob's subconscious takes over when he's using his unknown percent. And the biggest thing that we've seen in Mob's unknown percent versus any other transformation on this list is that when Mob is in this form, it's complete destruction, domination of the opponent. You have no shot to contend. We have seen no espers in the Mob Psycho verse. I don't care who you get. You can get Mogami, you can get Toichiro, you can get Shimazaki, you can get all of these top tier espers. None of that matters when you're talking about Mob when he's in his unknown percent form. Y'all gotta understand, Mob in this form can literally drain the energy from surrounding espers. This means that even though the dimension that Mogami was battling Mob in was getting shattered, he's still taking energy from Mogami mid-battle. As Mob boxes in this form, how many espers in the Mob Psychoverse can stop him? I'll wait. There's no name you can give me. That's all I need to know. Because at 1, I'm going with Eren Yeager and the Founding Titan. You know, when it comes to the drawbacks of an anime transformation, some of the people on this list lose their life as they're in the transformation, things like that. We understand that a Titan shifter actually loses out on having a long lifespan. So we understand the lifespan is shortened to around 13 years, but none of that matters when it comes to the Founding Titan, y'all. Because outside of that drawback, there is nothing to worry about if you hold the Founding Titan. This is why everybody in the AOT verse was trying their best to stop a Zeke and or an Eren from achieving this feat. They knew what was going to happen. The fact that the Founding Titan can control surrounding Titans, the fact that the Founding Titan can even start the rumbling, the fact that the Founding Titan has the power to destroy the world in the AOT verse. alone makes it #1 on this chart. Are you kidding me? Who can stop Eren now? Everybody and their mom has to work together to try to stop Eren because this power is so unreal. Everybody in the AOT verse that had knowledge of this transformation was trying their hardest to stop it from happening because they knew that once it got started, what are you going to do to stop it? You have to figure out how to stop the founding titan. There's not many answers to do that. Eren can even telepathically communicate with all of the Eldians. I mean, stop it. This transformation is just, compared to all the other titan shifters, you can't compare. You can't. I mean, looking at this chart though, it's actually very, very tough. So I want to see what you guys think. Drop your list down below. Rank these transformations from worst to best or best to worst, however you feel. And with that, I'll see you next time. Peace.